Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mega Scorchers, the Standby Phase Yu-Gi-Oh! All-in-One podcast. Today is Sunday, June 4th, 2017, episode 42 of Mega Scorchers, the Standby Phase. I am joined, as always, by Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Matt.
Yes, and hello, everybody. I am Matt /Mac19, PM, all that fun stuff. And we're here to talk about all the card game goodness in the Yu-Gi-Oh! World and whatnot. And maybe a little bit of wrestling. Probably not wrestling. Probably not wrestling, but I know Chris enjoys his wrestling. He's a high class connoisseur when it comes to the performance arts of wrestling. I just remember back in the day, Stone Cold Steve Austin drinking all that beer.
Yep.
All that beer. And then bringing a beer truck to spray everywhere. I think back when it was the WWF, I think it had a little bit more money during the Attitude Era. They could do whatever the hell they wanted, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll return to that one day, but not right now. We're back in the cycle of PC culture, so what are you going to do?
Yeah. We sure are back in the culture of PC.
Yes, because we don't know Macs up in here. Only Windows. Joke I did there. All the jokes. Yes, but we're here to talk about card games, specifically ones about Yu-Gi-Oh! But got a little bit for you this week for sure. We have some news of the week, some state of the game, then we'll finish up with the tech of the week as always. We're going to start off like we always do. What decks we've been playing. I know, Chris, I think you mentioned in the pre-show a little bit there that haven't much been Yu-Gi-Oh! Going on this week. A little tough week for you when it comes to the Yu-Gi-Ohs.
Let's see. If I had to have a deck that I was playing, I'm playing again a mashup of True King, Zodiac, and True Draco. But right now, it's mostly True Draco because mixing in the Zodiac engine can be like I play against people where my Maxi is useless. If you get what I'm saying, like True Draco, they don't care about Maxi. They have one. They have one card that special summons, and that's the trap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. I myself have been playing Six Samurais like crazy.
Are you serious?
Yes. So, my
You're
buddy wanted.
you're quite the man.
Well, I was like, my buddy I made a Six Samurai deck for him years ago. Like, the last time I made it was when the Six Samurai structure deck came out. Like, that second one, that one. So that's how, and that was like 2013 off the top of my head. And I finally updated it since then because obviously things are not like they were in 2013. And I had to actually test it out and stuff, so I've been playing it nonstop for like the past week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. Maybe I'll say a week and a half. So that is what I've been doing. That's the deck I've been playing, and it is a full-blown control version. That's the only way I believe you can run Six Samurais at this point in history.
Right now, especially.
Yeah, like turn one Nat Beast with Shein with back row support is pretty decent. Only thing it loses to is Kaijus, which everyone has. So what are you gonna do? But hey, man, having that strike, warning, lost win, or fiendish chain in the back to protect you with a Nat Beast in Shein, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So that is what I've been playing. So I wanted to make sure I learned it up before I gave him the new updated version, so I knew what tell him what to do and everything.
Good idea.
Plus, Shein's cheap as fuck. No one wants Shein. You get the super special, fudgy, ultimate, whatever versions from like back in the day, and they're like $1 or something.
Yeah.
They're like super cheap. Maybe like $3. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe they're $2. I really don't remember, but they were super cheap. It was under $5. I know that. So that is not what I've been playing, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit. It's actually really fun to play in tag as well because your deck is just designed to poop those guys out. Well, that's a pretty strong turn one, and then when you tag out to the other opponent, well, they've got some decent protection to do what they got to do for their deck. So that is what I've been playing. So let's get into some news of the week then, before we get into our state of the game talk about the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! We got a couple things here. They're kind of like just little things. Maybe one's kind of interesting. And But it's apparently Yuki's birthday. I just thought this was interesting to bring up. Uh, in honor of Yuki's birthday, apparently in the Duel Links app, you'll be able to get special sleeves and playmats. They'll also be giving away 640 gems. So that's kind of interesting. All you have to do is just log in today, and you'll get it. So as long as you log in today, you'll get all this special stuff. I did not know it was Yuki's birthday, June 4th. Was that ever actually said in like the anime, or probably wasn't the manga, I assume, but like in the anime, was it ever said?
In the manga, as like one of those, you're like, when they give like, trying to remember the name, but little dossiers on the characters, like profiles and stuff. But yeah, it was mentioned. Just like Naruto's birthday is in October.
Oh, geez. Oh, yeah, that's right. Also, in conjunction with this, actually, Yukio.jp just launched today as well. So pretty much the site is interesting, I would say. Right now, it's pretty much contains things like anime and comic stuff, and it does have some links to, what is it called? Duels, Teams, Exel, or something like that. And they have the first article up already, which I'm going to bring it up here. What is it? It's a news article. Come on, Google, translate it. Translate it.
Google Translate. And your new friend.
Come on. Okay, well, it's not my friend because it isn't translating my page for me. But anyway, so they have their first article up already, and this is interesting because this isn't like YukioCard.com or something like that, or Konami.Yukio, whatever. This is like literally the official. Here's Yukio.jp. So they could use this to be put up their official everything they wanted to, everything related to Yukio, not necessarily about the card game only. So the question comes from this: where are we going to naturally get an American version of this? Will this be something that they feel is necessary? And do you think from this that you think that Konami maybe could making a transfer over where this becomes the hub of all things Yukio, maybe even like Duel Link stuff, or even just moving all like the card database over and everything? Or do you think they're going to stick to what they already have and just run multiple sites?
I believe that they can make this the new hub, but it's going to take some time. Like, I know they're working on another site that was up. Let me see. I have it. Where is it? Konami Card Game. Konami Card Game Network, which you use your Kasi ID, and it keeps track on all the tournaments you have entered, all the locals you have gone to that have reported back to you, and your win-loss record, and also your rank in the world.
It's cool.
Very.
Yeah. My vote for this is I think since they're starting to get this branding all here, I think it would be very wise to just start moving everything into one location. Like getting all the, like, I think they should move that site over to here and everything, and they all could just redirect at this point. They can still keep, obviously, the system and everything, but I think that it would be wise at this point just to connect right in to this, and it makes sense for branding as well. And then it could be the hub for everything Yukio, the card game. You can get your anime and news and everything like that. You can sign in with your thing, get your whole freaking breakdown like you just said. I think that's what that'll be the smart move going forward. But obviously, like you said, I also believe it will be a long transfer process if they do choose to do that.
That's maybe they're trying to. Sorry, go on.
No, I wasn't saying anything. I was just going blah. Blah.
Maybe they'll finally fix everything that's been going not the best.
Yeah, maybe. It would be a long process, but I just think it would be wise for sure if they just make it all one hub. Just think about it. One place to go to log in. You can get your database for your cards. You maybe can have a ruling section. Konami. For now,
don't you tease me, Matt. That's something I dream of.
And then as a secondary ruling page, they have one for LAD. It goes, all right, now here's the LAD tab. We just have it at the top because we know you're gonna need it. So that would be wise. Heck, man, it could even like tie into like your Duel Links profile. Just have everything connected. So you can have one player profile sheet that's like, here's your Duel Links stats, here's your normal stats, and there you go.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it needs to be a social network. I don't think we need another social network. I think it would be nice if you log into your account and you get all your stats and stuff. Doesn't even necessarily have to be public. Maybe you could just print it off or make one of those enable things for like sites. Like, here's I could paste my thing. Here's my stats. Something like that. And that would be cool. So I hope to see those things. Next news item here is we have the Yu-Gi-Oh! Day for July 2017. They said the official dates now. The events will be held on the 22nd, 23rd. And attendees will also have a chance to get their hands on a mat of Decode Talker and Honeybot.
Hooray.
In addition to that, that's it. Come play some Yu-Gi-Oh! It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Day. Get your cool mat, win it, and be all special.
Yep.
Get ready. It's the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Day mat with Link summoning guys on it. So there you go. That could be something that's worthwhile down the line.
I know.
You collectors out there will have to buy them for extremely amounts of money because we know that's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Day thing. See, they got a couple things going for them, and that's one of them. At least Yu-Gi-Oh! Day is a good one.
Yeah. I hope there's one around here one day.
What is the closest one?
I think Rochester.
Wait.
Closer,
there's no official. There's no official tournament stores besides the one in Rochester.
We have OTSs, so.
I wonder what you had to do to qualify to have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Day at your place.
Be an OTS. The problem is OTSs have to want it. Got to buy the kits, got to do all those things, and you got to hope the people show up to equate the cost of the kits.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot you had to pay. I feel like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Day stuff should be heavily discounted. I understand why they can't do it for free, but maybe heavily discounted would be nice. Because that's just that's supposed to be a fun thing to promote your whole thing. Everything else, maybe it's just a small nominal fee just to keep out the riffraff from just getting free stuff. That's what I would like.
Yeah.
But that's it for news. So now we're just getting straight into the state of the game stuff. All right, we got a couple of things to talk about this week for you boys and girls. First one here I had on the agenda is Duel Links and its effect on the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! So I wanted to have this discussion because Duel Links, it's the first time in a long time they really showed the legitimate support for a game version of their franchise. I'm not even going to say a digital version of their game because it kind of isn't. But this is the last time before this, I was like, what? Fuck, what was the last tournament thing for the DS? Wasn't that 2012? Felt like it was 2012. Yeah. So them having heavily support in this is why I think it brings up warranted discussion again at this point. Basically, what I like to get off my chest here is, could it actually be the future of Yu-Gi-Oh? Is Konami even setting it up to be that? And if it isn't that, then what is its purpose? My first thing is,
future of Yu-Gi-Oh!
I do not think it will be the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, my hopes would be that it would be, because I would like to have a supplemental digital version very similar to the way the Pokemon does it. I actually think Yu-Gi-Oh! Could benefit a lot from having the same type of structure as Pokemon does, having a full digital version that you buy packed to get the code. They could do the same thing and everything like that, and it can run on phones too. People would love that. But Duel Links isn't that. It's more of an homage to the past way of playing. Heck, it's a smaller field, using older mechanics, older cards, things like that. So therefore, it's a different thing. So I don't think it will ever become the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! But that was what my hope was for. The next thing is what is the Duel Links purpose and everything. I think what Duel Links is at this point is supposed to be a supplemental fun thing that they can try to make some money off of. Because they do put some time promoting it, and they're putting it in their official events. So that shows that they care, that they want people to play it, even though it's not the exact game. And the reason I think they're going with this route is because they're still so afraid to make a digital version because they make money off the real product. But I would say that that might not be a legitimate fear, but I don't blame them. But Duel Link's purpose at this point is to pretty much promote the game, and they are incorporating into their events. And I feel like that is an interesting move for them to take, especially how Pokemon literally has a full digital, and Magic, even though they don't have, because Magic was just kind of making one back in the day just because they had to have a digital thing, and they were trying to prepare for the future, but it's kind of its own weird thing at this point. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know if that's really the same comparison, but it's just weird because I want to know how much Konami actually still influences like in terms of how the digital stuff is done. I assume that the whole reason we don't even have like a full digital simulator and we have Duel Links is because they're like, we need a smartphone game that we can charge microtransactions, make all the money, like that Pokemon shit. We got Yu-Gi-Oh! That's like a card game thing, right? Yeah, we put that on there. Don't make it like the real thing though. We need to still make print cards. I feel like that's how Duel Links was spawned.
But at the same time, I'm sorry, it's not like the real thing, but it's something that they're making that could be the real thing. Because think about it, from Duel Links come Link Brains, right?
Yes.
So who's to say that won't affect the real game? Like Brains is already affecting the real game with the whole. I mean, like how the game will be changing in not less than a month, in a month. So
would you think they would
say that this?
Go on. Sorry.
No. Who is to say that this won't become real? Like it won't apply to the real game.
I was actually kind of thinking about that as well because I wonder if you ever think they would do some crazy nutty shit where like when you're playing in a tournament or when you're starting to play the game, you can actually whip out your smartphone and use it to interact with your game. Do you ever think
that would be something?
That would be some nutty shit that I actually think they would try to do some crazy shit with. Think about it. If they purposely keep it like a 3-card tier structure, what it could then become is like for lack of a better way, this might not be the way to do it, but just a way for an example that how they could implement it. It could become like another extra zone. Like if you have Link Monster set up, you can then connect to your Duel Links app. Well, obviously, I'll figure out some way, but let's figure it out, and then you'll have your Duel Links app, and then from there, you'll be like, you can get an additional Link summon, or you can now have what do they call that? The whole linking thing where if you have a straight line, then you can have more zones for fucking actually particular, whatever that is, straight linked, whatever it's called. Like you could get added benefits in your game for doing that. And I think I agree with you, Chris. I think Konami could be crazy enough to try shit like that. Hence why they didn't even make like a traditional game on the phone. Because they're not going for that. They're going to try some crazy ass shit. Trust me, all the Japan kids would love that shit. Supplemental electronic devices. And that would sell over real well in America because kids will then have to have a smartphone and have their app and everything. And it's like kind of like having a little device. They could sell like little weird cases and shit too. So that could be one way they could go for it.
But you're going the money game route at that case.
True, but I would debate Konami is making toys for kids at the end of the day. That's still their demographic, man. That's why they got the Animus and everything.
The Animus.
Yep. Have you seen Duel Links really been adopted at all by the player base? Because I don't think I have myself. I've only seen people who have not played the game and forever do it.
I have seen some players that play the game play Duel Links. I myself play it. So I've seen players play the game, including myself.
Yeah. So I wonder how much, because it's definitely promotional, because I know a lot of people who are like, I'm going to check out here's what happens though. Here's what always happens though. I had like a couple players come to me like, I've been playing Duel Links for like forever, and now I want to play the real game again. Let me get into this. What should I get? And I'm like, all right, here's this. And like, well, what is this shit? What's this black card? What's this? Because Duel Links doesn't really have any of that. So then they're like, oh, well, this is complicated and expensive, so I'm not going to play now. And that happened every time someone came up to me because of Duel Links. So I wonder how effective Duel Links actually is at getting older players to come back.
We'll have to see.
I have to see. It was definitely downloaded a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my little spiel on Duel Links here. Next, I do have one card for single card discussion talk for this week. Man, this card just blew my mind. Red Roid Call.
Yes.
A counter trap. Okay, let's just read it. It's a counter trap. When a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated while you control a Roid fusion monster, negate the activation, and if then the player... Wait, God damn it, why is it going on here? Okay. Then the player who attempted to activate that card or effect send all cards with the same name has a negated card from their deck and extra deck to the graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Roid monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You use the effects of red Roid Call once per turn. So, oh my goodness, this is a card that is reasonably, because they can search this card out reasonably easily. So it's a reasonably searchable counter trap card that negates everything and then doesn't destroy it and plops it to the graveyard. Holy shit. This is an amazing card, Chris.
It very much so is, good sir. It is a very amazing card, but will it be enough? There's a handful of Roid fusion monsters. If it said Roid monster, that card would be amazing because, you can always use your Dark Geroids with it. But, yeah, very, very good nonetheless. We just need more Roid monsters.
Yeah, because, the main, let me see the main fusion guy here you're making. There's a couple, though, but let's see. Yeah, because, you've got, your Steam guy. No one's going to make that. Got a couple lists here. Yeah, see, there's a couple to choose from. It's definitely good support, and I'm glad they're doing it. But in terms of it definitely entices you to want to play Roid cards again, for sure. Because it's such a powerful trap that to eliminate things, and you can run 3 of them, reasonably searched out and everything, and that's pretty amazing. I do not think that anyone can find a way to incorporate Roid cards into, Zoo just yet. But who knows? Maybe someone could do that. But overall, I think this is a great support card. And maybe some people are going to start picking up Roid cards again to play them, try them out. There's so many to choose from, too. There's got to be some deck combination. That's the only card I had for single card discussion this week.
I see.
Alrighty, so the next topic of discussion I had for this week is what decks do we think we'll see pop their head up again when Link format comes out? Now, I'm not going to say what's going to
discussion.
Okay. I'm not going to say what's going to be meta. I want to know what do you think people are going to try out again or go back to because things have become air quotes here, handicapped or not handicapped. What things would we like to see, even if it let's say let me rephrase this. What we'd like to see rise up again in terms of getting support during Link format, new cards, going back to some old archetypes. They're going to get support during Link format. Maybe not with Link monsters, but just maybe more support cards in general. What would you like to see come back for that time of era? Since it will be kind of like a refresh button.
Agents.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, agents.
They do use the extra deck, yes, but they still have a big boss monster that destroys things for not much of a cost.
Yeah.
Also,
go on.
No, go on.
Also, what they have an advantage is they could make support cards via Link monsters because you do have the guy that brings out 3 Shine Balls. So having Link monsters, I need 3 normal fairies, and there you go. So they have potential cards that could feed well into the whole Link idea.
This is always my default answer sometimes, but Gladiator Beast.
Yeah, that was one of mine. Mine was I wanted to see Gladiator Beast maybe get some more support cards. They are getting more support cards, so that's good.
Yeah.
Another one is I want to see a rise in dark decks again. So not an archetype based dark deck, but I want to see dark decks do something again because they already got so many cards in their advantage. But the game is so different now that unless it's making a synchro spam or I make the deck that makes me pop out a bunch of these big dark guys and then I copy effects nonstop and then I win. It's really not a deck that can be done. I like to see support for that. I want to see my buddy Gores played again, man. Imagine if there was a Gores deck again. That would be amazing, but that might not happen.
Gores.
Also, Mecha Fan Beasts. Let's get them. Let's get some support. That's what I would like.
Possibly. I was thinking about that the other day. Also, Amazons are going to poke their head back because 1, they're getting support, and 2, they're just kind of, pretty all right, especially in Links.
Yeah, they're not too bad at all. What other things would we like to see? God, you know what? What was that fucking archetype? Was it aliens? The one that would depended on the placement of the monster zones?
That seems like Cyberdark Impact to me.
Yeah, I wonder what those cards were. Something about the placement. Like things in this row can't activate their effect and shit like that.
Yeah, that was more Cyberdark Impact, the set, than any specific archetype.
Gotcha. So I like to see more support with that, especially because now we have multiple zone things going. That could be the time to bring back those type of gimmicks.
Yeah, we can definitely use some changes to text on things that move from zone to zone, because what we've seen from translations of Japanese cards is that the extra monster zone sometimes does not count for things that would move in the regular monster zone. Look at ground collapse. Look at other things. Like links are the reason Darkness Approaches got freaking eroded. But the archetypes that could come back. Oh my goodness. Madolches.
With Jolches, you want them to get some more support and stuff and work in link format. That's not a bad choice.
Because if they get more support, then there's a chance they'll get reprinted. And Magellines can stop being like $14. Like, you got to think about if something gets more support, then it may lead to things getting reprinted, which lowers the cost, which would be great because some things don't need to be so much.
Yeah, for sure. What's that? You know what I like to see? How about what's Crystal Beast been up to all this time? Maybe Crystal Beast could do something.
They've been up to nothing at all.
And if they get some support cards, that would be cool. And if they could get things in. They could get like supports for Link monsters though. Think about it. You got Crystal Beast things that are like you could get a new Crystal Beast that like put me in the extra monster zone, and then I count as this Link monster in terms of like things like that instead of going to your spell and trap.
I think they'll do that with more generic cards rather than just Crystal Beast. Also, Crystal Beasts have support cards. We haven't gotten them yet. They have 2 Pendulum monsters, and we haven't gotten them that.
Oh shit! I totally forgot about those cards. Which one are those called? Let me see.
Everybody did.
I totally forgot about. I didn't even know. I know. I think you mentioned that to me before in the past. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, the support exists. It's just we have yet to get it.
We have yet to get it. We have yet to get it. All right, some other things. Let's see. Like what is it? What are those dragons that use a tomb and all that? What the fuck were those called?
The tomb?
Heretic dragons. Is that what it was?
Oh, those
hieratic. That's it. That's what it is. Hieratic dragons.
I don't think they.
Unfortunately, they would need quite a bit of support. They were only good in like their little medium time they were.
Yeah. Give Utopia more support.
God, more Utopia support, huh?
Why not?
Sure, why not?
Like every protagonist gets support. Every single one of them.
I don't know how much, like, in terms of, how much more can they give, like, Blackwings at this point? Blackwings already have so much, and so do Light Swarms. It's like, but yet they still can't keep up. They've gotten so many things over the years. Isn't that nuts? And then the only one that I can really think of that I would be truly interested in to see is maybe Ultra Athletes or Mist Valley cards getting some type of support.
So dual terminal, you want dual terminal to get support. That's what you're saying.
Okay, let's go off on a side tangent since you just brought that up. Why is dual terminal not just its own anime?
Cost, money. Konami doesn't like supporting things people like. Look at Silent Hill. But
oh boy. Yeah, that's just a side thing. I think that should be its own anime at this point.
It sure should be. Just like everything else Konami puts out. It should have some sort of animated feature. I would, love, appreciate something with Metal Gear Solid. But we're not on Remove From Play. By the way, shout out to Remove From Play Tuesdays. But yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of sucks. But going back to the thing, yeah, so those were pretty much the archetypes I would like to see to get support. more support. And one more side thing too. Quakimeros, that would have been cool if they got even more. They did get something relatively recently, but seeing them, I would like to see more rock stun type things in the future. So that would be cool if they got even more support.
Kokimero is not just rock stun. There's just a lot of them that are rocks, but Kokimero, the concept itself, could use support. Like maybe another card that counts as core, maybe a continuous card that says you do not have to pay end phase cost for Kokimero monsters, something like that. Like take away that cost and let the trap do something. Like let it be a trap card. Let it do something else. Like as long as this card is face up, Kokimero cards you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. During your end phase, pay like 500 life points to keep this card on the field. Like, because these days, cards have to do multiple things. Otherwise, they're not good at all. Like, notice how the Roid card does, like, 2 different things, but they're 2 really good things. If you don't do multiple things these days, like, you can't just do one thing. Like, Toon World does nothing when you play it, but it provides the ability, the means to summon Toon monsters. Like, the game keeps going up and up and up when it comes to cards getting support. So every support card has to do something and then a little bit more. Like, when this card leaves the field, draw a card, something like that.
Yeah, because they have to make up for the fact that they're already doing basically Band-Aid work because, the times when they first made some of these archetypes, they really weren't trying to make them OP, or at the time, the power creep at the time did not allow them to do everything, or else they would have been, like, literally
Correct.
the tier 1 thing. Now we have power creep so much that everything has to do everything just to be able to play.
Yeah, like, your cards have to do amazing things. Like, Zodiacs have to do amazing things. They are 1-card XYZs, and every XYZ does something to either further a combo or is a standalone card. Like Broad Bull being able to search things is standalone. Dryden popping things is standalone. Even Borble attacking directly is standalone. Or they help out the combo itself, and they don't cost you anything to play them. Just 1 card. Put 1 card on the field. Have the ability to XYZ. You're done. You do things. True Dracos, like, they are monsters that break the conventional rules and tribute magic and trap cards. Like, they tribute continuous magic and trap cards. Pretty soon, we might have monsters that tribute regular magic and trap cards.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Or we'll just have cards that say, hey, how about you just tribute from your extra deck? Why not?
We have something like that. The remove from play guy.
Yeah, Eater of Millions.
Yes.
Yeah, you send them away so you can bring them out. Pretty amazing. But man, yeah, it's just how things are now. The power creeps so much. So when we're thinking about support cards, this is now the time for them to think about it, to maybe bring back some older archetypes for the the new animes and all that, and maybe even for just the card game itself.
Like, I understand that links try to slow the game down, but at the same time, it's like...
Yeah, I'm actually over that at this point. I was completely wrong at the beginning. I think it's just a new thing. Stuff's not slowed down, really, in my opinion.
Hey, someone's been converted to the person side.
Yeah. But after seeing all the playtesting and everything, it's really not going down slower. I really thought initially it was, but it's not slowing things down. It's just different. That's all it is. But it's different in a way where, like I said before, like I made discussions in the past, like it doesn't feel like it's Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. But hey, I already said that discussion in the past, so. All right, so that's just some of the things we want to see rise up during Link format. Maybe get some support, maybe see some love. That would be cool. Now we have another thing here that Gandhi put on here. He called it the Power of One. Oh, look at those Pokemon references. At least I assume that's what that is. He's talking about cards that are starting to see play in meta decks that are currently limited to 1 on the list. An example he talks about like a Book of Moon. He's not saying specifically Book of Moon is being showed up and everything, but just the idea that we're starting to see limited cards just show up in decks now.
Oh yes.
So any idea why he would want to talk about this, or what your 2 cents on it?
Because he's seeing how decks, because we're going to have a format change in a week. Next week, if I'm right, next week we're going to have a format change. with this format change, like you're gonna look at the different cards, no matter how many they're at, and you're gonna go like, can this fit in my deck? Can this work with my deck? Will this help my deck? Because cards at 1 are pretty good. Like you have to wonder why. Why are they at 1? There's a reason cards are at 1, because they do something.
Yeah, they're like the power play cards. Yeah. Like just imagine Soul Charge at 3. Like we had it for a little while. It would be some nuts stuff. So yeah, my 2 cents on that is just like, it makes sense. Like since the meta is changing, like you said, people are evaluating their decks, and Norden's going bye Norden. So there's gonna be some slots open from Instant Fusion for a lot of decks. So they're like,
and Pendulum Edition is coming back to an extent.
Yeah. So what one-ofs are they thinking of that would be amazing to help things out? And it's just like, yeah, I think we just know the power of our power cards. Like when you drop a Soul Charge, you're dropping that for a specific reason, to gain more advantage, to create a bigger field, to come back. They are power cards. That's what they do. Same thing for like Raigeki. That is I would debate that is seeing a little bit more main deck play. But at the same time, some people are not. But maybe now they're reconsidering that. And that's a power card that just lets you bring things out. That's what it is. So seeing the increase is not too abnormal, like you said, during the changeover of formats, because the people are trying to really evaluate, because things are going to be different. The question is, what qualifies a card to stick? That is the real thing. I think that what qualifies a card to stick would be after like the first major event, when you see what people are trying with their spicy techs and whatnot, and then that was what would come up to see. Because like, what do we got on here on the limited list right now? Let's see. Let's skip this. So limited to 1. See, there's not really anything that's like super crazy out there. Like, people are still trying the Max C thing, of course, as we know. Will even like Speedroid Terratop be played? I guess it still makes sense to, because it's still a good card for a lot of reasons, but we'll still see a decrease in that. Now, what I think definitely people are going to be trying out more this time around, now that we have some slots open to experiment, I think some people are going to keep trying Brain Control.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Brain Control.
Yeah, Brain Control.
I tried. Then again, that was last format, so maybe.
Yeah, because let's think about this here. So dinosaurs, even though they're not big, are there. They can do that. So you can take the dinosaurs away, which is pretty cool, because they have the ability to be normal summoned. And technically speaking, so do the Dracos. Now the problem with the Dracos are, well, most likely they're going to be immune from spell cards. So that's something you'd have to consider.
It's not even that. It's like, okay, so Masterpiece and the other big guy, Matayan the 12th, they're the only ones immune to the types of cards you tribute. Now, some people will, tribute a trap and a monster card to keep Masterpiece unaffected by those, but he might be affected by spell cards, in which case Brain Control will be excellent. The problem is that the other True Dracos you tribute for each do something when you activate a card. So if I activate Brain Control and I'm tributed, and they have one of the tributed guys that tributed something that respond, then they'll get a card and you take the card. So you take their guy, their effects used, and what do? Tribute with it, attack with it, XYZ with it if you're running rank 5s.
Yeah, that would be about all you could do with that. Another card that I definitely seen people actually implement already is I actually seen an increase in Torrential Tribute. And people getting ready for the next format. And I think that is an interesting idea, because being able to wipe a field on your opponent's turn has always been good, and Torrential Tribute's always been one of those just good cards. So we definitely could see more of that. I definitely think we'll see more Torrential Tribute for sure.
Oh yeah, we're seeing it now.
The one thing that I would be curious about is we're going to see Compulsory be introduced more into decks again.
That's something because it only I would only use it on monsters that come from the extra deck. Because most of the monsters nowadays, you don't want them to have them back in their hand.
You usually want them gone, and unfortunately, XYZ synchros and all that, they're going to be gone with a compulsory, and that's it. And with
They'll be
Zodiac,
gone.
theoretically, they could probably bring it back out that turn again.
Yeah, like compulsory is 1-for-1. If you do it during the battle phase, you don't have to worry about them putting it out that turn again because they're not going to attack you with it. But if you put like a main deck monster back, then you'll have to still deal with that main deck monster. Maybe if this is something, if Phoenix Wing Blast was free, but it's not. That's okay.
Why? Side note: why is Wall of Revealing Lights limited to 1 still?
I don't know. I only judge. I am not.
That is interesting. I was just looking over the list and I totally forgot that Wall of Revealing Light was limited to 1.
To prevent OTKs or something?
Well, it stops OTKs, I guess. But
yeah.
I should just play Wall of Revealing Light and pay 7,000 light points. Then I'm good. Nothing. Then I don't have to worry about losing the game because nothing with 7,000 or more attacks or less attacks is going to hit me.
If you cannot get rid of a Gaga Cowboy in 2 turns, you have plenty to worry about.
That was the joke, Chris.
Yes. Wait, no. You have to say it like this. That's the joke.
That's the joke. Oh, Butterfree. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So, guys, the power of 1. That's what it is. Power cards are always going to be a thing. And they'll always be reconsidered.
Also, Max C's at 1, and
people,
you're going to be running
it. Because it's like, people got to run Max C. It just sucks that's at 1. It's like, oh, well, I might see Max C, I might not.
Like, Konami putting it at 1 is already a question because, it's one of those cards you need to counteract the bad things that are going to happen to you.
Yeah, I don't get, like, what... Okay, because here's the thing, because Konami decides to make these decisions to make the game more balanced and fair. Because we all can agree that a World of Max C is not a fair and balanced card at all. In my opinion, it isn't. Just, like, continually drawing for free? Thank you. But here's the thing, why would they do that when, like you just said, Max C is used as a way to equalize things because the game is so power creeped. So it's like, why does Konami pick and choose sometimes? It just makes me think. And I feel like Max C shouldn't be a 1. It should be a 2. Leave it at 2.
It should be at 3. That should
Heck,
be at 3.
Sure. I'm fine with it at 3 as well. Sure, I'm fine with that. It's an equalizer.
It's a card that prevents a deck from being too out of control. Like, Zodiac got out of control. The Norden combo got out of control because Max C was at 1. I would not Norden combo if I knew my opponent had the possibility of having 3 Max Cs. Even if they grasses Greenard and milled one of them, I'll know there's 2 left. And Max C will make me stop because I don't want them drawing cards because of things I'm doing. Like, I'll earn nothing. Like, every card I make equals a card for them. So I special summon once, they draw a card. I special summon again, they draw a card. Even though the special summon cost me nothing, at the same time, they drew a card for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, because that is what Max C is. That is what it always was. And yes, we all agree that it's probably not a balance card, but for what it's being used for right now, because the game is so power creeped, it is an equalizer. It is not a bad card right now in terms of the way the game is. Yeah, if Konami wants to make a full and balanced game, be my guest, but they'll never fucking do that because that's not how this thing works. So I never got why it went to 1. Just keep it at 3 or 2 and call it a day. It's like so weird how they choose to do that. But yeah, that's another one of the Power 1 cards. Heck, man, that's half the thing maybe what Gandhi's talking about. It's like we're going to start running a bunch of 1-ofs all the time now because we have to, just because they're so good.
Yeah.
Gotta run that 1 Max C. Heck, there's going to be those decks that are like, gotta run that 1 green. Gotta run that 1 grass. Gotta run that 1 Foolish Burial. Gotta run that 1. Pretty soon it will be just a bunch of 1-ofs. The 1-of deck.
Yep. Actually, I used to do that. I used to run a deck with 1 of each card.
I still got that air quote here, anti-meta deck. That's just a bunch of 1-for-1s and 1-ofs. Be prepared for everything. Be prepared for everything. Alrighty. So that's everything that I had on the docket here for State of the Game. Unless there's anything else that you wanted to talk about and discuss, Chris?
I'm all right, because in a week, like, this will be the very last week for Norden. This will be the very last week for the meta as we know it. Things are going to change. Next week will be our very last show before the actual meta change, and we'll just have to see what happens.
Indeed. So, yep, the old man is finally, they took him, they finally gave him too much of his meds, and he's dying and going away. But I used to run with my horse, and I used to bring you back from the... Get out of here, Grandpa. But
I'm on a super horse.
I got a trident.
I'm a water monster. Abyss Dweller loves me.
I'm a water monster. He does.
Bahamut Shark loves me.
He does. All right, so let's finish up our show here with the tech of the week. I picked out the tech this week, and I don't think this is going to be a surprising tech at all. We've actually talked about this card in the past, but right now it's relevant again. Skullmeister.
Yep, absolutely relevant again.
Yeah,
the fact that it's so relevant, it's getting a reprint.
Yep, it is. So this guy stops pretty much any card effect that activates in the graveyard, your opponent's graveyard, and you just send it from your hand to the graveyard to negate the effect. What's another noted about this thing is that the reason he's worthy, not only does he have a great effect to stop things that are going to be activating the graveyard, which there's a lot of things right now. We can all agree with that. Not only that, but he's also level 4 in 17 body. So if you run this in Zodiacs, you have yet another level 4 at your disposal if you end up not even using him. And that 17 body is nothing to snuff at either. It is something to run over. Most hand traps are really weak, so they're not attacking over anything. But if you ever need to normal summon a Skullmeister, get a super sticky and weird proprietary situation, he might be able to run over a couple things for you. In addition to that, of course, he's dark. Once you all love dark, guys, it's allure targets.
You love dark.
They need me to make an allure darkness for light monsters.
Also, he's level 4.
Yep, level 4.
We all love rank 4s. He's a fiend monster. Dark ruler Hades loves this guy.
Indeed. Yeah, but so that's our tech of the week this week, Skullmeister. Pick them up in that highly hot Starstrike Blast. It's only printing so far until the reprint comes out. Yeah, they just need to do a super second, super duper chocolatey fudge covered special edition of Starstrike Blast and call it a day. Just solve the issue there. Just do them all. Eventually, every card's going to be needed, right? We've come to. I think that's one of the new official rules of Yu-Gi-Oh now. Eventually, every card in Starstrike Blast will be meaningful at some point in Yu-Gi-Oh history. Alrighty, well that will be our show then. I want to thank Chris for joining us, as always.
It's a pleasure, each and every time.
I want to thank the fans for watching and everything like that live. Make sure you guys check out megascorcher.com for all the VODs and all the other shows. You can follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Just search Megascorcher Card Game Shows, as to your circles and Google Plus as well. You can even join the forums. You can even join the forums of the website, megascorcher.proboards.com, to continue conversation beyond the show. This has been Megascorcher's The Standby Phase, June 4th, 2017, episode 42. We'll catch you all next week, people. Peace out.